Before the Industrial Revolution began in England around the year 1760, the way most people lived in Europe and America was very different from how they live today. 9 out of 10 people lived in rural areas. There was a large, mostly poor lower class, a small, rich upper class, and not much of a middle class. Rural people raised most of their food on small farms, and they didn't have to leave home each day to work at their jobs. Back then, there were no electric lights, no movies, no telephones, no recorded music, and no cars. Ordinary people used their hands to make most of the things they needed. They had no reason to own a clock, since their lives were tuned to the rising and setting of the sun. The world was pretty quiet before the Industrial Revolution, because there were no machines for rapid transportation to fill the air with noise. Without these devices, people didn't travel much. Consequently, except for their own villages, they knew very little about the world in which they lived. The pace of life was much slower before the Industrial Revolution, because people had to walk or use horses to move from place to place. There was no public education, so few people could read and write, and due to poor nutrition and living conditions, they didn't live nearly as long as people do today.